Good morning, students. Very good morning. And the topic today we are going to see is the continuation of our DQ concept. So on the day we saw the concept of DQ, how the DQ operation works actually, and we have some four different operations in DQ, and we saw an implementation or part also. We saw a normal way of implementing the DQ using the normal array. Fine. So in yesterday's class, we saw the priority queue concept. So now we are going to continue the DQ concept. So it's going to be have a quick recap of what is requeue, and then we'll get inside the implementation part. Fine. So we know we call this DQ as a double-ended queue also. Fine. It's a type of queue data structure. Fine. So in normal queue, we'll be having the insertion at one end and deletion at another end. So you know that in front end we'll be able to delete, and at the rear end we will be able to add the elements. Okay. But in DQ, what happens? We have two more operations here. So what we will do, we can able to insert and delete at the both the ends of the queue. Okay, so that's why the name is called as a DQ or a double-ended queue. Fine. So as we have insertion and deletion at the both the ends of the queue, so we have obviously we'll be having some four operations in it. Okay, in normal queue we'll be having only two operation. One will be the NQ and another will be the DQ. But in the DQ data structure, we have four operations. So these are the four operations I have just listed out here. One we call it as insert front, insert rear, delete front, and delete rear. We saw all these contents and how it works and all in our previous class itself. Okay, so delete front is nothing but I'm trying to add the element to the front end of the DQ. Okay, so this will be the new for us. Okay, insert rear, it's an as usual, we will be performing this on our queue also. And delete front is also done in the normal queue process, and delete the rear will be the new operation for us. Okay, so these are the two new operations added to the DQ data structure. Right? So here it's a diagrammatic representation how it looks, insertion as well as deletion. Okay, so I hope you are clear about this DQ concept. Fine. So next we'll go into the implementation. Here I'm trying to implement this concept or this thing with a circular array concept. Fine. So I'm not going to use a normal array, I'm going to use a circular array here. Okay, so here it's a representation of it. This is what the circular array will looks like. It doesn't looks like that, but we will be logically have a view like a circular, we'll be having an array. Okay, but I'm not going to continue with like a circular array. I'm going to have a representation like this. I can also draw my circular array like this also. Fine. So this is a full array. You can see I'm adding. I have the all the elements in the queue. Okay, it's a full queue actually. I can say it's a full queue. Okay, when I will tell this my queue is full, when my rear and front are nearer or equal, I can say it's going to be filled. Okay, see this is my front and this is the rear. So both are nearer. Then I'll tell the queue is going to be a full queue. I can't able to add element inside this queue. The same way I'm representing like this. Fine. You can see the rear pointing to the index 2 and the front pointing to the index 3. So no more space is there in the queue. Fine. So now for this example, I'm going to take an empty array. That is what I have said here. I'm going to create an empty array here. This is what the empty array. Fine. So I'm going to initialize the front equal to 0 and rear is equal to 0 initially. Fine. I'm sorry. I'm going to initialize front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. Finally, ignore this. Okay. Front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. Then I'll tell you I'm going to have an empty array. Okay. Now I'm going to try to insert the first element here. You know how to insert this. You can see for inserting the for an empty array, I have to just make the pointer values actually. For example, front is equal to -1 and rear front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to 0. This tells me I'm just inserting a new element inside my queue. You can see a pointer. This is what the front pointer and this is what the rear pointer. Both are pointing to the index called as 0. Fine. So we'll get inside the example. Fine. So you can see the I'm just trying to show you the pseudocode first, then I'll show you the program. Fine. So the first operation is I'm trying to insert an element at the rear end. It's very clear for you. I'm trying to insert the element at the rear end. Okay. So this is what the example I have taken here. Okay. Already there is an element 14. I'm trying to insert an element 20. Okay, if that is going to be the case, what you will do, you will just increment the rear pointer. Rear is equal to rear plus 1, and you will put the values. It's very simple. Okay, if there is an element inside the queue, I'm trying to add an element nearer to that particular element. I have to just move the rear pointer. I have to just increment the rear pointer. Fine. But if I'm going to have the, if there is if there is going to be the what to say, my queue is full, okay, or something else, what I have to do, that is what this pseudocode tells you. Okay, first thing what I will do here is I will check whether the DQ is full or not. Okay, so usually what will be the condition for full? Actually, if my rear is reaching the maximum size, I will tell you that my queue is full. Okay, but in this particular DQ process, I have to check one more condition. Okay, the condition is I have to check whether the front is equal to 0, okay, and the rear is equal to maximum size minus 1. Okay, then I will tell my queue is full. My front is here, okay, and my rear is here. Then I can tell my queue is full. I have to check for one more condition, is my front is equal to rear plus 1. My front is equal to rear plus 1. Okay, for example, I'm adding two more elements here. Take this circular array representation. I'm adding two more elements. Now the rear will be here. Now for example, I'm adding 10, I'm adding 20. You know, at the rear end I'll be adding the element. Okay, now the rear will be here. Okay, so now the next condition is my front is equal to rear plus 1. My front value is 2. So 2 is equal to what is the value of rear? Rear is 1. So rear plus 1. 1 plus 1, 2. If this is the condition, then I'll tell the queue is full actually. Okay, so this is one more condition to be added if I'm going to use a circular array concept. Okay, for a normal array, I will just check whether my rear is reached the maximum size of my array. Okay, for a circular array, you have to add one more condition, is my front is equal to rear plus 1. If this is the condition, I will tell the queue is full. I can't able to add anything inside this queue. Fine. So I'll show you the code for it in the programming logic. Okay, so you can just have it in mind. These are the two conditions we have to check. Okay, whether this or that. Fine. And next I have one more condition. Fine. So what is the condition is if my rear is equal to size minus 1. Okay, so for example, I will take an element here actually. For example, I'm having an element 14. Okay, then I'm having a value called as 20. Okay, so the rear is equal to size minus 1. Here the rear will be now. Fine. And here the assume it's going to be the yeah, here it is front value. Fine. Once again, I'm trying to erase it. Fine. So see the condition, my rear is equal to size minus 1. I have reached the last end. Okay, now I'm trying to insert an element. Okay, so what you will do, since it's a circular array, sometimes what happens, you may have a space here actually. You may have a space here. Okay, then what I have to do? Fine, I have to reinitialize my rear to 0. So now the rear will be coming here at the index 0. That is what's said here. If my rear is equal to size minus 1, it has been reached till the end of the rear size, I have to reinitialize the rear to 0. Fine, because it's a circular array. There may be some spaces before also. I can't just leave like that. Okay, because my friend is pointing at the index 1 only. That particular 0th index is empty. So I'll make a reinitialization to insert the values. Now I'll be inserting a value like 30 and R is pointing to 30 with the index 0. Fine. This is a new one which we won't be doing in our normal array. Fine. And the third else part is, next else part is, if there is an element, that is what here. If there is already an element, just increment the rear by 1 and put the values inside the array. Fine. So we have three logics here. The first one is whether I have to check whether my queue is full or not. Fine. My second condition is I am going to, if I'm reaching the maximum size, my rear is going to reach the maximum size, reinitialize your rear. Okay, then put your values because it's a circular array. Then the third one is as usual one. If I'm going to have an element already there in the rear, actually in the queue, just increment the rear pointer. That's more than enough to put the values. Fine. So these are the things under the element at the rear end, inserting an element at the rear end. Next one is inserting an element at front end. Okay, so it's very new for us. We won't be inserting an element at the front end. Usually you will be deleting an element at the front end. Okay, so again, now I'm trying to insert the element at the front end. Okay, so here you can see here it's a different one what I'm showing here. I'll go through the pseudocode itself. Okay, the first one is whether I'll check whether my the queue is full or not. Okay, so it's an unusual one. I'll show the code for it. And next one is what I'm trying to say is if my front is equal to 0. Okay, so I'm trying to insert at the front. So initially I'm having a front value. Fine. Assume the front is here, the value here is 0 and the index is going to be, value here is 14 and index is going to be 0. Okay, next the element is going to be 20 and the index is going to be 1. Fine. So if my front is equal to 0, I need to add an element to the front at the first part. Okay, so I don't have a space here. So what I will do, you can see here, I have to make a reinitialization. I have to change the front to here, front to size -1. Okay, sometimes this space might be empty. For example, this is what your rear. Assume it's going to be rear end. We have this much of spaces, but we can't able to add before this. So what I'll do, I'll make a point to front is equal to size -1 because it's a circular array. I can able to add like this also. So what I will do, I have to just change the index like front is equal to size -1. Now the front will be pointing here. Then I can add the element what I need to add here. That is what shown in this diagram. You can see I don't have a space before this 14, so I'm just adding the I'm just changing the front pointer and then adding the value 50 for it. Okay, this is a new part. Fine. And next one, obviously you can see here or else just decrement. In this case, for example, assume my front pointer is here. This is my front pointer 1. It's an example I'm taking. Okay, and it's going to be 2 0 1 2 and this is going to be the rear pointer. Fine. So if there is a space, okay, what I can do, I can just decrement the front pointer. We will be doing f is equal to f -1. So that's all. The pointer will be changed, the value will be inserted here. Okay, if I don't have a space, then only I'll be changing from here to here. Fine. So these are the three things we have to look for adding an element at the front. The first one is full or not. Okay, if my next one is my pointer is pointing to the, if my f pointer is pointing to the 0. Okay, so I have to change the front to the size of -1. Fine. And the third one is if I'm going to have a normal thing, if I have a space, my pointer is somewhere like 1 2 or 3, somewhere like that, I can just able to push the values inside this 0 index. Fine. So these are about the inserting the element at the front. So next we'll see the deleting the element from the rear end. Okay, and this is also a new concept for our DQ. So how to delete an element at the rear end. Fine. So I will take the same thing. So for deleting, what we will do, we have to check whether we have a empty, the queue is empty or not. Okay, because we can't able to dequeue an element from empty queue, so it's going to give a error for us. So we have to check whether we have some element or not. That is what the first thing. Check whether whether the queue is empty or not. Fine. If it is not empty, I'll go inside this first part. What is the first part tells you? I'm having only one element. You know that. Okay. If you're going to have only one element, if you want to delete this, for example, 14 is only one element inside my queue, and front will be the same element, and rear will be the same element. Okay, if you want to delete this, what I will do, I will just change my pointer index to front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. It's very simple. Okay, and we have one more thing is a normal thing. I'll go for the last else. Okay, then I'll come for this previous else. So this else, what I'm doing actually, decrease the rear by 1. If so, if we have so many values, okay, for example, I'm having 15, 30, 40. Okay, assume this is what my front and this is what my rear. Okay, if you want to delete the rear and if you want to delete this, what I will do, I have to just decrement the rear pointer. That is what given here, r is equal to r minus 1. Fine. So three conditions we saw. One is empty. So second one is if you have only one element, what we have to do. And the next one is, the last one is, if you have so many elements, what I can do? I can just change the rear, I just decrement the rear pointer by r is equal to r minus 1. Fine. And we have one more thing. So you can see here. Okay, what does that means is if the rear points to the first index of the array, since it's a circular array, we'll be keep on rotating the rear and front pointers, keep on changing. Okay, so assume if my rear pointer is at the end, at the first index. Okay, I'll show here. Assume I'm having a rear pointer here at the index 0. 0 is in the sense first index of the array. Okay, if it's so, I need to delete it. Okay, so I'm having 14. I need to delete this. I have to, after deleting, what happens? Automatically the rear pointer will be changing. Okay, so what happens here? I'm going to give a term called as rear is equal to size minus 1. So after deleting, okay, your rear will be decremented. So the rear pointer will be moving to the last position. Now this will be the rear pointer for us. Fine. So that is what I've given us, rear is equal to size minus 1. When this condition happens, when my rear is going to be the first index of the array, because we don't be we'll be using -1 and all. Since a circular array, okay, I'll be pointing this rear to the maximum size of my array. That is what given here. Fine, it's a new condition for us. Fine, so deleting an element from the rear end, we have so many possibilities to check. One is whether the queue is empty or not. If we have only one element, what to do? If we have so many elements, what we can do? If my array is in the first index, what to do? Okay, four conditions for deleting an element at the rear end itself. Fine, and next one is deleting an element from the front end. Okay, front end in the sense I'm going to delete an element from is a very usual one. We have done it. So what you will do, you will just increment the front pointer. That is what you have done till now. Just increment your front pointer. Fine. We will see the pseudocode one by one. The first one is I have to check whether the queue is empty or not. Fine. Second, if we have only one element, what to do? As usual, like the previous one, change the file pointer to -1. Fine. If we have so many elements, what I will do? I will just increment the file pointer. We will see this. Assume I'm having 14, 20, 30, so many values. Fine. So I'm trying to delete the value. So I want to delete this 14. This is your file pointer. Okay, so I need to delete this 14. So what I will do, so just shifting this pointer to the next one will remove this element. Okay, so what I will be doing actually, file plus 1, front pointer plus 1, I'm sorry, front pointer plus 1. That is what done here. Fine. Now we have a condition for our circular array. So what is the condition is, if my file pointer is at the last index, how this deletion happens. Fine. So you can see this front pointer is here. This front pointer is here, it's the last index. Okay, now it's going to be have a value called as like 40 or 50, something like that. Now I need to delete it. After deleting, where this goes. Okay, so I'm going to use a concept called as friend plus 1. So obviously we have to reinitialize the friend pointer to 0. So now the pointer will be moving to the first index. So but the friend pointer will be having a value 0. Fine. So this is the way we'll be deleting an element from the front end. So 4 conditions: 1, empty or not. Fine. If we have only one element, how to do it? If we have so many elements, how to delete the front end? Actually, just you can able to increment the front pointer. That is more than enough. Okay. And if we have one more condition is, if my front pointer is at the last index, what you have to do after deleting, where this pointer will move? Actually, it's moved to the 0th index. Fine, because it is a circular array. Fine. So I hope it's clear. These are the 4 operations here. In each and every operation, we have an a new condition has been created. Okay, because of this circular array concept. Fine. In your for example, inserting an element at rear end has an unique condition called like if my rear is going to be size minus 1, what I have to do. Fine. And next one, at the inserting an element at the front end has having a unique condition, front is equal to size minus 1. Okay, as the same way here, rear is equal to size minus 1, and next one is front is equal to 0. Okay, this condition has been created only because I'm using a circular array logic, because only for that I'm using this. Okay, everything remains same. Fine. So all other conditions remains same like your normal array. Fine. So next part is I'll show you the program for you. If it is okay, can you give me an okay message for me? While you are practicing, better draw a circular queue, like a logical view can be a circle, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Fine. While you're learning, do like that. While you're creating a program, make a logical view like a circle. Fine. Then I'll go for the program part. As I said, we have 2 conditions under this is full of function. Okay, I have to check 2 things: whether my front equal to 0 and your rear equal to maximum minus 1, and I have to check one more new thing, that is nothing but my front is equal to rear plus 1. Fine. So this is a new thing which I'm going to add to check for the is full condition. Okay, for is empty is nothing but if my front is equal to minus 1, I'll tell the queue is going to be an empty queue. So this particular function holds the operation for overflow. This is for the underflow. Fine. Next, the same, I just converted that pseudocode into a C programming language. Okay, you can see like a void insert rear end, because why I'm using a void here, because I'm not going to return anything, so I'm using a void. I'm going to pass an argument called as item here. So you can see I'm having some conditions. So first one is I have to check whether my queue is full or not. Okay, because I'm going to make an operation insert at the rear end, so I'm using the condition is full. Then I'm just checking whether I'm going to insert the first element. Okay, for this I'm using a condition. Then you can see here, okay, if my rear is going to be reaching the maximum size, what I have to do, actually I have to bring that rear to 0. Okay, you can see the line also here. Here is at last position of the queue. Then what you have to do, just make this index to 0. Fine. And the last part is, if you have so many values, how to insert it. Okay, at the last, what you'll be doing actually, you'll be putting the item into this array. That is what done here. Fine. I think it's very clear. Okay, 4 conditions has been given in a separate way. Fine. Next one is inserting at the front end. Inserting at the front end. Okay, again I'll be checking for overflow condition. Okay, again if I'm going to be the first element is going to be inserted, that is what the condition operation for it. Fine, just I have to change the front and rear to 0. That is more than enough. And then if I'm going to have, if my front is equal to 0, okay, so how do I insert the values? Then what I will do, I will change my front from 0 to the last. That is what called as front max minus 1, from 0 to the end actually. Fine. And the last part is, if I have so many values, how do I insert it? I have just increment the front pointer. That is enough. And at the last I will be putting the values inside this front. Fine. So again it's very clear for you, these 4 conditions. Fine. Next one is deleting at the rear end. Fine. So it's a new thing. So we for deletion, what happens actually, I'll be returning the, it will be returning the deleted value for us. So I'm using an integer. Fine. So I'm going to store the deleted value inside this variable called as item. Okay, so what and all I have to check for this, I have to check whether the it's in empty or not. It's an underflow condition. Okay, that is what done here. Then what I'm trying to do here, sorry, yeah, so if my front is equal to rear, okay, so we have only one element, how to delete this, that is what the condition and the steps for it. And the next condition is, if my rear is equal to 0, I'm reaching my rear is equal to 0, I need to delete the element at this end. So what I will do, I will change this rear to max minus 1. Fine. And the last part is as usual the same thing. Okay, if you have so many values, how to delete it, just decrement your rear pointer, then you'll be able to delete the value and return the value inside the variable called as item. Fine. And the last operation is delete front end. You can see the same thing. I'm checking for an overflow condition. I'm sorry, underflow condition. And I'm going for whether I'm having only one element or not, how to delete one element. And next one is, if my front is reaching the maximum size, okay, but I want to delete it, what I will do, I have to just change the front pointer to 0. That is what given here. And next one is, if I'm going to have so many values, fine, how to change it. My front is not pointing to the 0, my front is pointing somewhere middle, how to do it, that is what, just increment the front pointer and return the deleted value to the variable called as item. Fine. So these are the simple thing. So you try to write a code using all these small functions. I'm not showing the printing part and all. I have just showed you the each and every functions. Okay, I have showed you the pseudocode. I have converted the pseudocode into a language. Fine. So that's it. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubts, guys? Shall I proceed? Harshini, yes ma'am. What about others? Fine. It's your work now. Can you get me the answer for this? This implementation part is somewhat tougher than comparing your normal queue process and all. This DQ, priority queue and all. Understand the question properly. I'm using a circular array implementation of the queue. Okay. It's not a DQ, it's just a queue. The answer is B. Okay, what about others? Yeah, I'm getting so many answers. Okay, so if you want to just answer, because we have said the capacity is 42. So what happens actually? So at the data of 12, the next element will be pushed. Okay, so the answer is going to be the B option. Okay, data of 12. Next one. We saw this concept before itself. So studying the queue, implementing the queue using this linked list, we saw this. We compared actually insertion at the head and insertion at tail, what happens, how this complexity goes. In linked implementation of queue class, where does the pushed member function place a new entry on the linked list? Answer is tail. Is it so? Just think for a while. We made a comparison, I think so. So what happens when you're going to insert the element at the starting point or at the ending point, what happens? We saw that if you want to insert an element at the tail, we have to traverse from the first, then we have to insert there. Okay, so we opted for another option also. Priyadarsan gave me the answer A. No, it's not the right answer. We'll be doing everything actually at the head itself. We won't be going to the tail at all. Am I right? So the answer is going to be the last part at the head. Okay, we'll be doing a push operation or function at the for a list. Okay, at the head, not at the tail or anywhere else. Okay, because of this complexity issues. Okay, if you want to clear this particular point, you can just go and see the other PPTs. So the queue implementation using the linked list, I have just made it clear. Why I'm not inserting or deleting at the end of the or tail of this list. I'll be using only the head part. So the answer is going to be at head. I got only one answer from Shrutika. Yeah, it's good. The answer is correct. That's it, students. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me, because it's little bit what to say, not that much easy when comparing to your normal queue, because DQ is little bit complex. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. If you want to just tell any, if you want to take me to the operations, I'll just take you once again for you. We have a quick recap also if you want. Yes. Shall we end this session?